How to print the value of a tensor object in TensorFlow. I have been using the introductory example of matrix multiplication in TensorFlow. When I print the product, it is displaying it as a tensor object. But how do I know the value of product? The following doesn't help. I know that graphs run on sessions, but isn't there any way I can check the output of a tensor object without running the graph in a session?
The easiest way to evaluate the actual value of a tensor object is to pass it to the session.run method, or call tensor.eval when you have a default session, i.e. in A with tf.session column block, or see below. In general B, you cannot print the value of a tensor without running some code in a session. If you are experimenting with the programming model, and want an easy way to evaluate tensors, the tf.interactive session lets you open a session at the start of your program, and then use that session for all tensor.eval and operation.run calls. This can be easier in an interactive setting, such as the shell or an IPython notebook, when it's tedious to pass around a session object everywhere. For example, the following works in a Jupyter notebook. This might seem silly for such a small expression, but one of the key ideas in TensorFlow 1.x is deferred execution. It's very cheap to build a large and complex expression, and when you want to evaluate it, the backend, to which you connect with a session, is able to schedule its execution more efficiently, for example executing independent parts in parallel and using plus. To print the value of a tensor without returning it to your Python program, you can use the tf.print operator, as Anjay suggests in another answer. According to the official documentation, to make sure the operator runs, users need to pass the produced op to tf.compat.v1.sessionsRun method, or to use the op as a control dependency for executed ops by specifying with tf.compat.v1.control_dependencies print_op, which is printed to standard output. Also note that in Jupyter Notebooks and Colabs, tf.print prints to the notebook cell outputs. It will not write to the notebook kernel's console logs. You might be able to use the tf.get_static_value function to get the constant value of the given tensor if its value is efficiently calculable.
While other answers are correct that you cannot print the value until you evaluate the graph, they do not talk about one easy way of actually printing a value inside the graph, once you evaluate it. The easiest way to see a value of a tensor whenever the graph is evaluated, using run or eval, is to use the print operation as in this example. Now, whenever we evaluate the whole graph, for example using b.eval, we get
Reiterating what others said, it's not possible to check the values without running the graph. A simple snippet for anyone looking for an easy example to print values is as below. The code can be executed without any modification in IPython notebook. Output.
in TensorFlow 1.x. With TensorFlow 2.x, eager mode is enabled by default. So the following code works with TF 2.0.
If you want to see more, please consider subscribing.